The Grizzlies trail by 18. Taking a look at the Bulls. Snell is the 3 with Gibson at the 4. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's Gasol at the 5 down low. Randolph. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories, rebounds just being one of them.
The Grizzlies shooting for the game at 42%. And it's Conley penetrating. Gasol with the steal. Here's Snell. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over. The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Now here's Conley. Kicks to Randolph. Just 5 on the clock. Over in the corner, Allen. Offensive rebound. And Randolph throws it down.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play.
Chicago making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Rose kicks to Gasol. Can't get it to fall.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
That's good.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Now, here's Gasol. Three-pointer, Butler. Shot's good. And the Bulls lead by 17.
And they're going to have a hard time climbing back into this game if they continue to defend like that.
Conley sets a screen for Randolph.
In a league that's becoming more and more pick and roll oriented, Zach Randolph is more of a throwback, if you will. I mean, he likes to back his man down and battle for those offensive rebounds.
Good on the second free throw.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
The feed to Snell. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Butler kicks to Mirotic. Can't cash in from close range. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark you can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
Back to Butler. Pass to Gasol. Puts it up from 12. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Conley with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. Conley into the lane, and Gasol sends it back. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Conley. The Bulls leading by 14. Butler dishes to Rose. Pass to Mirotic. In the corner, Snell with it. Back to Mirotic. Great D that time from Green.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Randolph passes to Conley. Here's Gasol. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it. He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, guys, over that last break, I listened to Dave Yeager address his team. He's not pleased with the careless turnovers offensively, saying, listen, we've got to get shots. It's as simple as that. We have to play smart and value the basketball. Kevin didn't sink in.
Thanks a lot, Doris. And guys, Jeff Green, by every measure of athleticism and skill, should have become one of the game's better small forwards, but inconsistency has plagued him throughout his career.
And Kevin, I always go back to something my college coach told me. The mental to the physical is 4-to-1 in this game. And so through those 7 full seasons, he's teased everyone with that talent. And then it does suddenly disappear. And there's no other way to describe it other than the fact that it is mental. He hasn't been able to sustain it in terms of the consistency, and that's why he hasn't fulfilled his potential.
They get it back. The Grizzlies trail by 14. And he gets the bucket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
To the right side. And Zach Randolph gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
You know, with Jeff Green, the one thing you can say about him is he's been durable, especially since he had the unforeseen heart issue in 2011 for which he needed season-ending.
Oh, wow.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Bulls.
You know, Clark, when you shoot this well from three-point range, you're really hard to stop. The defense didn't rotate out fast enough to stop the hot shooters.
Well, you said it all there, Kevin. They were lethal from behind the arc.
And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Gasol. He was everywhere defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
We've seen a lot of silly plays like that out of them today. Just way too many.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group. Out to the right wing. Chalmers against Moore. Gibson the screen. Back to Noah. And the layup's good off the glass.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight. But we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road win.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just took care of business.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Yeah, but kudos to them, Greg. I mean, the fight they're showing now, you got to give them credit for that. Would have been really easy to pack it in.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road